They said you wouldn't make it. You almost believed them. But here you are, still breathing, still standing, still his. Loving in the fire. I've been in the fire more than once or twice. I have felt the ground give way beneath my life. I have lost the things I built with my own hands. Watched the plans I prayed for turn to shifting sand. I have been the one that nobody called to check on. Been the strong one till the strength ran out of me. I have sat in silence wondering if tomorrow was a place that still had room enough for me. But every time the darkness said my name was done, something rose up from the inside, wouldn't come undone. Not my strength, I know too well that mine runs thin. It was grace that kept me breathing, grace that kept me in. I'm still standing, not because I'm strong, still standing. After everything that's gone wrong, life tried to break me, tried to take me out, but God kept me standing. That's what I'm about. The diagnosis came on a Tuesday morning, the call that changed the structure of my world, the door that closed and never gave an answer, the love that left without a reason or a word. I have grieved the version of my life I planned on, held the pieces of a future I can't keep. But I have also seen the God who works in rubble build something from the ruins I could never see. So I won't pretend the road was ever easy. I won't perform a faith I didn't earn, but I'll testify to every scar that has a story of a God who never left and didn't let me burn. I'm still standing, not because I'm strong, still standing. After everything that's gone wrong, life tried to break me, tried to take me out, but God kept me standing. That's what I'm about. Every scar is a story of survival. Every wound is the proof that I came through. Every night I couldn't see the morning was a night you were already in. I didn't survive because I held it together. I survived because you held what I could not. You were the spine inside my broken posture. You were the reason when I ran out of reasons to stop. I'm standing, not because I'm strong, still standing. Through the fire, through the storm, life tried to break me, but it couldn't take me out. God kept me standing, and that is my testimony now. Still standing, still here, by His grace, only by grace. I should have fallen, but I'm standing. Still standing, still standing, still standing, still standing, still His. Everything that tried to bury you became the ground you stand on. God doesn't waste a single thing, He carries you through. You've been crying in a room full of people, smiling at the right moments, saying I'm fine when fine feels like a foreign language. But somebody sees you, He always has. your hands were shaking through the song. You laughed at all the right parts of the story, and nobody suspected anything was wrong. You've been carrying a grief without a name for it, the kind that doesn't fit inside a prayer request. So you hold it in the space between your heartbeats and pretend that you are handling it best. But every tear you swallowed when they turned away, every silent scream you buried in the day, every moment that you felt completely unseen, he was there counting every single thing. You are not alone. He sees every tear, every broken night, every unanswered prayer. When the world moves on and leaves you standing there, God is in the room. You are not alone. Maybe you were told to just be stronger, that faith should keep you from feeling this way. So you buried it in scripture and in service, and kept the wound invisible for days. But wounds don't heal from silence or from hiding. They heal when something gentle calls them out. And the God who made you knows what's underneath you, the parts you haven't let yourself speak out loud. You don't have to have it figured out to come to him. You don't have to be together to begin. He's not waiting for the version of you that's healed. He's already here with the one that's real. You are not alone. He sees every tear, every broken night, every unanswered prayer. When the world moves on and leaves you standing there, God is in the room. You are not alone. You are not alone. He saw you on the bathroom floor. He saw you when you locked the door. He saw you when you couldn't pray. He didn't look the other way. He saw the text you never sent. He saw the night you almost went. He saw the smile that wasn't real. And he stayed still. He saw it all, and he loves you still. You are not alone. He sees every tear, every broken night, every unanswered prayer. When the world moves on and leaves you standing there, God is in the room. You are never, never alone. He sees you, he knows you, every tear. He caught it. You are seen, you are loved. You are not alone. You are never, never alone. He didn't miss a single moment of your pain. Not one tear fell without him catching it. You were never invisible. You were always his. You closed the book, set it on the shelf, told yourself that was the last chapter, but God is still holding the pen. I used to have a picture of the way it all would go, the timeline and the people and the places I would know. I had the chapters mapped out, had the ending in my mind, but the story took a turn I didn't see and fell behind. Now the dream I carried looks nothing like I planned, and the future I imagined slipped right through my hands. So I sat down in the silence of the life I didn't choose, convinced there was no story left, convinced that I had lost. But something in my spirit wouldn't let me close the door. A whisper underneath the quiet, there is still more. Not a shout, not a sign, just a steady, patient pull, like an author in the margins, writing full. It's not over yet, God is still writing. The page you thought was final, He's still lighting. What feels like the ending is just turning of a page. Your story isn't over, you're not finished. Not today. I think about the ones whose stories almost ended early, the widow and the orphan and the ones the world forgot. The woman at the well who thought her water had run dry, who met a man who knew her name and changed the plot. And Lazarus inside the tomb, 4 days of silence, while the ones who loved him wept and said, too late. But Jesus came and called him by his name out loud, and what looked like the end became the gate. So who am I to say my chapter can't be turned? Who am I to call it done before the author speaks? I have seen him work in places far beyond my reach, so I lay the pen down, let him write for me. It's not over yet, God is still writing. The page I thought was final, He's still lighting. What feels like the ending is just turning of a page. Your story isn't over, you're not finished. Not today. Choosing every word. Maybe what I called a closed door was a hallway leading somewhere I could not have seen before. I don't need to see the ending to keep walking. I don't need to read the chapter to believe He wrote the world from nothing into something. What He starts in me, He finishes in me. Is not over yet, God is still writing. Every scar, every silence, what you thought was your ending was His invitation. Your story isn't over, this is your new beginning. Still writing, not finished, not done. He's not done with you yet. Your story still going, still here, still writing. Still going, still writing, still writing. The most important chapters are never the ones you expected, and God has never once run out of ink. I won't pretend this is easy. I won't perform a faith I haven't earned, but I'm still here, and that has to count for something. I've watched the ground shift underneath my standing, felt the walls coming from every side. I have prayed the kind of prayers that had no language, just the sound of someone barely getting by. I have questioned things I never thought I'd question, wrestled hard with what I thought I knew, and I came out on the other side still breathing, not because I'm strong, because of you. My hands are worn, my knees have hit the floor. I've lost the count of how many times I couldn't take no more. But every time I reached the end of what I had, something in me refused to let go, wouldn't let me fall back. I'm still holding on, not by my own strength. I'm still holding on when I've got nothing left. Every reason said let go, but I couldn't walk away. I'm still holding on, and that's grace. I remember nights when I couldn't find the morning, when the clock said 3 and sleep had given up on me. I remember sitting still inside the breaking, wondering if this was all my faith could be. But I think of all the ones who held before me, who gripped the same invisible and chose to stay. And I realize this grip is not my doing, it's the hand that never once let go of me. So when the storm says you should quit by now, and the voice inside agrees, but something won't allow, that's not your will, that's mercy keeping you in place. That's a love that holds you tighter when you shake. I'm still holding on, not by my own strength. I'm still holding on when I've got nothing left. Every reason said let go, but I couldn't walk away. I'm still holding on, and that's grace. Maybe holding on looks nothing like I thought. Maybe it's not white knuckle, maybe it's just soft. Maybe it's just showing up with empty hands again and saying, Lord, I'm here, that's all I have, amen. Because the grip was never mine to start with, I was held before I knew to hold it all. And what I call my holding on to Jesus is really just His mercy breaking every fall. I'm still holding on, not by my own strength. I'm still holding on when I've got nothing left. Every reason said let go, but mercy wouldn't let me break. I'm still holding on, I'm still holding on. That's grace. Still holding, still here. Not by my strength, by grace. I'm still holding on, still holding. He never let me go. I'm still here. I'm still here. You think you're holding on to here, but the truth is, He has been holding on to you since before you knew you needed to be held. It starts in the chest before you have a name for it. pressing in and no air. I wake up and the ceiling feels like concrete, and my ribs forget the rhythm of release. I reach for something steady in the darkness, but my hands just find the edges of the sheets. My mind goes running down a road I didn't choose, down every what if, every wound I can't undo. And somewhere in the spiraling and the shaking, I forget I ever knew how to get through. Lord, I can't breathe. The fear done swallowed all my air. Lord, I can't breathe. The fear done swallowed all my air. But I know you're close to the ones whose hearts are breaking there. Fear not, but the body doesn't always hear what the mind was taught. And the shame of being anxious when I know you're good adds another kind of weight I never thought it would. So I sit here on the floor with my back against the wall, too tired to be put together, too scared to fall. And I open up my hands like an empty, honest offering, and I say, Lord, this is all. Lord, I can't breathe. Something shifts, not loud, not sudden, like a window opened in a room too long closed. Not a healing, more a holding, the kind that doesn't fix but doesn't let you go. And I breathe just once, but deeper than before. And I breathe just once, my chest remembers what it's for. You breathe me into being once, you can breathe me back to life once more. Lord, I can't breathe. You put the air back in my chest. Lord, I can't breathe. You put the air back in my chest. I didn't fight my way out. You just came in and gave me rest. Anxiety tells you there's no air left, but the one who breathed the first breath into dust has never once run out. I've been moving since before the sun came up, running through the list before the list runs out, mistaking all this motion for devotion and calling it faith when it was really just doubt. The doubt that if I stopped then things would fall apart. The belief that I was holding up the sky. The lie that rest was something I would earn one day, when all the work was done and all the dues were paid. But honey, the work is never really done and the dews keep multiplying in the night. And the God who made the morning made the evening too, and called them both good and called them both right. So what if I just stopped? What if I let the doing wait outside the door tonight? What if rest was not retreat, but the most faithful thing I've done all week? Rest in Him, like the river rests inside the riverbed. Rest in Him, like the night rest easy after day has fled. You were not made to carry what He's already holding. You were made to trust, and that is more than enough. Rest in Him, just rest in Him. There's a scripture that I've known since I was small, about the yoke that's easy and the burden light. But I've been wearing something so much heavier and calling it commitment, calling it right. I've confused my worth with output and production, measured my devotion by how much I gave. Forgot that Mary sitting at His feet there was the one He said had chosen the better way. Not less devoted, not less full of love, but present in a way that Martha wasn't yet. The gift of full attention, full surrender, the discipline of learning to just sit. So what if I just stopped? What if the silence wasn't empty but was full of what I've missed? What if the holiest thing I do today is open both my hands and just receive? Rest in Him, like the river rests inside the riverbed. Rest in Him, like the night rest easy after day has fled. You were not made to carry what He's already holding. You were made to trust, and that is more than enough. Rest in Him, just rest in Him, yeah. You know what I've noticed about the most peaceful people I've ever met? They're not the ones who have it figured out. They're not the ones with answers for everything. They're the ones who've learned how to be held. There's a difference between believing God is able and actually letting Him carry it. One lives in your theology, the other lives in your body, in your shoulders, in the way you sleep at night, in the way you breathe when no one's watching. And I think that's what He's after. Not just your agreement, but your actual rest. The weight leaving your actual shoulders, the jaw unclenching, the hands opening. Come to me, all who are weary. He didn't say come perform for me. He didn't say come with your best effort. He said come. And the promise wasn't clarity. The promise was rest, real rest, soul rest, the kind jazz musicians know when they find the pocket, when the groove holds everything, and you stop trying and you just play. That's what He's offering. Just play, just rest, just be held. Rest in Him, like the river rests inside the riverbed. Rest in Him, like the night rest easy after day has fled. You were not made to carry what He's already holding. You were made to trust, and that is more than enough. Rest in Him, just rest in Him. Rest now, let it go, let it go now, let it go. You've been holding on so long. Rest now, rest now. He's got it, He's always had it. Rest in Him. Rest in Him. Just rest in Him.